Welcome back to another live trading session, traders. The first session of the trading week. Beginning another trading session here from Forex Trading Wizard Academy to trade today as well. Like as usual, we are looking at here. Hello, welcome. Hello, guys. I'm back to trading after a few months of haters. Welcome. I think that's good. As you have a break, definitely it's gonna again recharge you, will make you much more resilient. And I'm beginning also with, if you guys looked at, we are starting new month here, 3rd of August 2026. This is a new trading opportunity here, and if you look at that, there was a pretty big move past month on gold, and now we are beginning another trading week here. And the market was, if you look at the previous months, was comparatively less volatile here, that you can see in this area. And with this less volatility, as the market trend remain here on a smaller range past month. Now this month we are looking at here for another potential entry with a comparatively larger move. Welcome. I'm back. Do you think gold is still bearish? Okay, so we will be doing a full breakdown for our analysis to see that actually where the gold is heading at the moment. If you look at the weekly here, we can see that the past week was a narrow red doji. Okay, so you can see that here with a narrow red doji here, past week was a comparatively smaller shadow with a smaller body. Now daily chart, if you look at the previous day, was a daily large bear candle. Now slowly the market is trying to push here back, and I think the market here on gold potentially slowly changing its directional bias. And I think if you look at, this is one candle range on the daily. Since this time here, the market is moving in an one candle range, and with this one candle range, the market might here, if you look at that, break in one direction. Okay, so this is the one candle range, but to look at that lower time frame trend here, we can see that this is the FOMC candlestick pattern. Of this FOMC candlestick pattern, from this support here, the market has got that reaction back to the upside here in this area, which is showing that gold may here break to the upside, potentially could happen here in this area. Now because this is a support where there is a stronger liquidity sweep, the market has broken back to the upside, and you can see another break also, the market broken back to the upside. Of this support, there is significant liquidity rejection of this, that you can see from that level. And with this, so you look at that here, this is a support area where there is a multiple rejection of this level, and this is a narrow range here on this lower time frame from the technical. So this the range look like that very smaller here until we see that complete breakup structure. If you look at the 15 minutes here as well, the market in a very smaller narrow range at this level. And with this narrow range, as this is a support, break to the upside, support, again break to the upside, that can create a potentially so here at this level that I'm looking at 15 minutes trend, that you can see the market is on this lower time frame trend. And also there is a triangular pattern here the overall market structure here is in this area on this lower time frame up, and also from the intraday, if you look at the 4-hour chart, that we saw there was an initial bounce earlier. So how do you see the market has moved from this level, from the 4-hour chart? This is the support area that you can see from this high here. The price has dropped to that level, to this. Okay, and with this, from that level, the market has dropped to that support area. And with this break from this level, that you can see the market has broken back below. Now from this support here, the price slowly pushing here back to the upside, right? So therefore, breaking below what I think we could see some potential push back to the upside here in this market. And this is what I'm looking at here, for the price action to give us a possible buying opportunity after an initial breakup structure. And that's what we're looking to see, a trend direction of this market here in this area. Welcome. Thank you for joining here. And we are looking at here for an entry on this market after the breakup structure. So you can see the market is breaking out of the trend line. And once you can see the market is breaking out of that trend line, we will be looking at here for an entry back to the upside. So it is series of high and low that you can see. This is a trend line. With this trend line, you can see this is a support. And with this trend line, once the market breaks entirely below, from that, we can look at after an initial retest to back again to the upside. So I'm deleting this level here to see where the market is heading. And this is the, if you look at also the hourly chart, that I would like to look at multiple time frame always to see where the price is pushing down on the opening of London session. Yes, this is what you can see. This is the previous session's low. Yeah, so the current level that you can see, which is the daily support, right? So this is where the market opened on the daily, and the price has gone up, started to push again back below. Therefore 4042, okay, 4042 around this zone at 4044, 4042 level is where we're looking to see a possible buy entry, because this is the daily support, and of that daily support we can look for a bounce back to the upside here. And the current daily support is here. So this is our potential buy zone if we see the price action reacting to that level. So potential buy zone of this for another wave of potential move back to the upside on gold. Price is pushing down on the opening of London session here. Now let's see what is happening with the fundamental and on the geopolitical situation here on if we look at. So you can see that here at the first of all, looking at the calendar, how do you see that calendar here? What is coming now? This week is NFP week, as you know that, and that's gonna be a really significant move that we can expect. Now today there isn't any high. Yeah, there is one coming on the which is later today. So if you look at that here, coming up in my zone, which is in the night, we are coming ISM manufacturing PMI, which will be also a market mover that you can see here in this area. So, and based on that, we could see that significant move with the data release. Now, however, looking at what is happening with the current geopolitical sentiment, let's look at some of the recent high impact news to see that where things are heading. Trump, I think there is a deal on Hormuz. Okay, so if we look at Hormuz deal, also is very tied to the oil price, and also it's directly tied to dollar index and gold as well. So we saw that on oil there was a gap open, and you can see there is always a reflection of what is happening there is what is happening here. So looking at WTI, that you can see there is a gap open on WTI, gap down, and the market has started to drop down below here of this. So because the market is, there is a gap open here, that can create after the double top, there is a break below that you can see here on WTI. So there is a gap open on WTI, which was really important to see that what we could see in this upcoming time. So with the gap open on WTI, the market, we can see that here, because there is a gap open, and you can see it failed to create a higher high, most likely you would see a possible downside. And oil is more of news driven, guys. This is a very important, because if you are trading oil, then definitely need to look at also what is happening with the news as well. Oil is more of news driven, and when you see that oil is there is a significant news on oil, we could see the market to have also, whenever you see the news, it's gonna reflect directly on oil, especially if it is related to the oil. All right, so going back to this next one here, USD yen slides further as the pair falls 0.5% to 156.64. Now yen was, the past week was a huge breakdown on yen that you guys can see, and I think that, so it was strengthening on yen, right? So USD/JPY became bearish. Now you can see this continuing in the same direction here, and I think it's gonna be, I wouldn't be surprised to see that dollar yen has changed its trend, because there is a very strong rejection of this price action, at least to this order block and monthly order block at 150.73 on USD/JPY. And with this movement that you can see from here, which is a big drop to this support, looking for the price action to pull back and then to trend back down here on USD/JPY. And that said, if you look at this is the drop pullback, the market is maintaining this downtrending market structure here. So dollar yen could remain here bearish for some more time. And then if you reflect on DXY, we can see the dollar index, because this is really will give us a clear direction of what might happen with the gold. Now if you look at DXY, this is the daily chart where the market tested this high and then dropped down back below. We can see the price action from the daily that I'm looking at. Initially the market has dropped back below of this, the price reached that level where the price action has tested this high, and the market is slowly breaking below here on dollar index that you can see in this area. So that means any pullback on dollar index, now we could look for at least for short term, for selling here to drop further low. This is support, and I think dollar index might be heading for some downside movement can happen. You can see that there was a big red candle, the price opened with a gap. We could see downtrending move on DXY. So that if we reflect that, now gold I will be looking at for potential buying opportunity. Therefore, this is the conclusion that we have looked at from the current geopolitical sentiment fundamental as well as the technical here on gold to look for possible buying opportunity here in this market. You can see the price is broken back below to the support and slowly showing their uptrend in this area. Okay, so that said, this is a support that the market is slowly trying to push here back above, and off this that we are looking for an entry. It just has broken back below now. So this is our potential buy zone, which is the daily support. But the market, if we see that, started to react, and I would like to mark both daily high and low. These are the two key levels that we need to really look at for today's entry on XAUUSD. Okay, so this is the 4079 and 4044. This is the daily support. This is the daily resistance here. And I'm looking at for a deeper pullback, and then we can look at that buy entry opportunity here. And in the meantime, also we'll keep eye for all the possible news update coming for us to be able to stay informed for any kind of movement. Okay, price is pushing down. Now at the moment, what we can see at this level, the price is slowly trying to push here back above to this level. Now the previous hour that you guys can see from here, there was a strong bullish engulfer has formed from the 1 hour perspective here. The market has broken back below and the price again started to reverse back to the upside for another wave of move in this area. Therefore, any push here back above can create that uptrending move. Now I'm looking at, if you look at, this is the 5 minutes drop to the support below this level. We can look at for the price action to revert and then to reverse again back to the upside to create a new higher high in this area. So lower time frame price action shows that there is already a break below and the market now trying to bounce off this lower time frame trend line. And to be able to look for buy, we want to see the market to break low. That can create that upside momentum in this area here. Alright, so what's your bias on gold today? You can share your feedback, and also I'm sharing with a poll here to see that you can cast a vote to see what you think on gold today. What is your bias on XAUUSD? Bullish or bearish? I'll go. It will go up. Okay. Random step. What is the work of ATR period 20, sir? Can you tell us here? Yes, ATR. If you look at, I always keep the indicator ATR in my chart. Most of the time, unless it is not becoming invisible. Now ATR is essential for those who are following our automated system. That means that aided tool indicators that is based on most of them are based on ATR. Now ATR is, many traders, especially if you are looking at the professional trader, they do look at ATR. Now ATR is very essential because the market will have, most of the day it's gonna have some kind of sequence. Let me explain to you what it is. For example, you see that here there is a pattern here, right? So the market, if you look at this 5 minutes price action, all those candle has a kind of similar, right? So overall volatility. So ATR is, firstly, it's the volatility within a specific period. Now, why it is important? First, understand the why it is important. And I would like to give you an analogy so you understand it. Okay? Let's assume that each day in a week, you see that each day there is a rain. For example, each day you see that 5 minutes rain, some day 10 minutes rain, some day 8 minutes rain. Okay, it can be in the morning, afternoon, evening. Suddenly, one day, you are seeing that from since morning to continuously 4-hour rain. Okay, Now, when you see that the first 5 minutes rain, second day when the rain started, you know that it can be 5 to 10 minutes. So it's a probability, you can guess, you can predict. Next day when there is a rain, you could say, okay, it can be 5 to 10 minutes. But when suddenly you see that one day rain exceeds, for example, an hour or so, now you have an edge for the rain to stop. You got my point? So one day rain 5 minutes, the other day 10 minutes, the other day rain 8 minutes, 15 minutes. But suddenly the rain is running for an hour. Now, instead of betting or guessing the rain to continue, in that case you can bet or guess to rain to stop, because you have an edge, as it already exceeded the regular normal zone. The ATR like that. If you look at the ATR, so see this candle here, it's standing out from all, and this is a very unusually bigger candle. So with this candle close, you can guess the market to drop, because it's already exceeded a lot, especially when you combine it with supply and demand. Okay, when you look at that larger ATR candle on a very important key supply and demand zone, that's the move that you want to look at for reversal or for entry. Find a key level, look for the ATR to come on it. Okay, now here, and more up, we will be discussing on each trade that we will be opening accordingly. So at this level, we are looking at, as with the daily price action approaching that support, we will be looking at here for this bounce here. Now we can see the market already has dropped down back below to penetrated below here to the support, and of this support test. Now if we see the market reacted off this, and I'm looking at here for a break back to the upside to this daily resistance line, which is nearly to 200 pip bounce possible here. Instead of looking to see the market is coming to that support, if it nears, we can look for going long, because the imbalance here now to the upside. You see that whenever breaking the support, the market is again reacting back to the upside here. Okay. with that one that you can see in this area, the market to have that reaction back in this area. Okay, here we see some slower move at this level, and with this move that looking forward to see the market structure to break to the upside to create potentially new higher high. And one hour that we have another 15 minutes for this 1 hour price action to form, and with this movement they're looking forward to see the price action to have that reaction back to the upside here in this area. So with a series of lower high, we are seeing that the market is maintaining this downtrend along this area, looking to see the price action break below and forming a double bottom, and then to have an uptrending movement. So with that price action, I'm going to look at a possible entry of that rejection here in this area. Now going back to to review some of our recent update on the news area. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson, we have no talks with US currently. I think that's just a little contradicting with the current information that we see. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson, we have no talk with US currently. But we have seen there is some maybe talk going on. Okay, so that contradicts, but we'll see that what later development coming. Trump, I think there is a deal on Hormuz. Okay. Now, with this development, let's see how the market react, because more often we see there is a significant directional bias on oil. Oil is currently, there was a massive gap open on oil that you guys can see, and this gap when the market has reacted back below, and of this we might see that bounce back again in this area. Now on that, if you look at that on gold, with gold price from this support breaking below here is what I am looking at for buy opportunity to the upside in this area. So with a series of higher low, they're looking forward to see the market to have that trend back to the upside in this area. Here slowly it's trying to break back to the upside that you can see at this level. Okay, here with few long wick doji along this area, we see there is a little slower movement, and I would like to look at the volume as well. If you guys look at it, we need to see the volume to enter any entries here along this area. And to look at the volume, where is the sessions opening? So London is 852 currently, so it might go back to very soon opening. The London Open that can start, and with the London Open there might be significant price action rejection can happen along this area. And with this initial move that you can see pullback, there is a sideway, can expect it to break again back to the upside here in this area. Okay, getting the candle close, which is a large rejection of this support area that you can see along this zone, and that is showing the market structure of this level could reverse after this initial move. So you can see that there's a drop, pullback. What we are looking at here on the 1 hour candle close with the long non-session volume, the market to eventually break back to the upside here in this area. And that is what we would see the price action to have that rejection after this initial pullback here in this area. Now, as the market structure, if we look at that from this support here, the market structure created this initial move, pullback, another move, deeper pullback, and can reverse back again to the upside here. And with a deeper pullback that you guys can see in this area, for the price action to break below, and then for us to be able to look for buy in this zone. And that is what we are looking at here, that the market structure to break below and then to give us that buying opportunity. I'm recommending don't trade right now. Sell later. Power of indecision is too high. Wait for US session. London session is over. Something is established over there. There is indecision. Okay, thanks for your feedback. Now, what we can see this session, if you look at that overall, there isn't much volume that you can see in the market, right? And not having much volume, okay, if you look at that, is a sign of breakout. Now, we saw there was a extended sideways consolidation that you can see along this area. There's a consolidation, okay, and with this consolidation here, resistance turn support, and you can see there is another consolidation. I'm marking both of this consolidation here in this area. And with this, both of this consolidation, shows that there is an upside volume. The most important part here is to look at the trend direction, okay, the volume in the market, the trend direction, which way the market is eventually heading. That's the key here to look at. Okay, so you can see series of higher low, and also there is a bigger move. Now there is one impulse that you guys can see here of this sideways market. The market has created this move, and if you look at that, also there is another impulse that you can see along this area. Okay, and this is a very subtle way to read the market. For those who still don't know, I know that you guys still just beginning your trading journey. Okay, All right, so now with this move, if you look at as slowly the market is showing its pattern back of this, after break of this high, the price now slowly breaking below to this level here, which is showing up that the market to break that low and then to give us this entry opportunity here in this market. Now it's trying to break below here, and breaking below, this is what you will be looking at the moment. I'm not selling it because the price is approaching the daily resistance line. So you can see that here the daily support, and from this daily support looking over to see a rejection. However, if the market started to bounce off the daily high, also we can look for a rejection back below. Okay, so it's all about to look for an entry of this key level. Okay, so at this level, the market is slowly slowly creating that upside bias. There's a long wick, you guys can see here. The long wick shows that the market to trend back to the upside in this area to go back to this key level of resistance line. so less volume, random, equilibrium of indecision is too high over their market will buy or sell. I'm waiting for PMI news because of indecision. Okay, so for the news aspect of the market, that I would say that the most important news that we will be looking at today, other than the breaking news that currently we see in terms of the data, is the ISM manufacturing PMI. Okay, so we need to look at that ISM manufacturing PMI, which is a significant news here in this video. So with ISM manufacturing PMI, which is coming in my zone around 12, we will be trading live as well with this. And make sure guys you subscribe to the channel for those live session, not to miss out, because we have a really productive live session past week as well. This week as well we're looking the same, and at the same time the premium joining is still open. Okay, it's really lucky that you guys can access the lifetime membership to the academy, and I'm sharing with you the website link below this video. Also I'm sharing here, you can directly visit the website and also use that fully discounted coupon, which is still available for you to join, access all the premium signals, trade ideas, as well as the education. And also you guys can access the premium education, strategies, as well as signals, and also trade ideas that can change how you look at the market. So make sure you do so. You can use that. Subscribe to the channel for more updated education as well as analysis that coming up soon. Now here is that if you look at with the long week, the market is at the moment completely sideways, and I agree with you that it's still in an indecision, but indecision doesn't mean that it's gonna be always in indecision. Okay, indecision is also a decision, right? So therefore the market is basically preparing for a potential breakout. All right, and as a trader, the patience is key for us to wait for that breakout to happen. And once we see the market has broken out of the structure, we can just get into the trade. And past week's trade that you guys have seen, that was an incredible, and this week as well we want to scale it up to the next level, to take it to completely to the next level. Yeah. It's a lot of spam on your no, there is no way that anyone can spam our group, because all those communication, if you guys on the site, then you can directly get into the member dashboard, where you can do all communication as well as all indicators, all information you can access from your member panel. Okay, and that way you can keep all this. And also the premium signal group is fully supervised by me, and you guys can see that all those trades that I'm sharing, strategies there. With the gold scalping group, there's admin always looking after everything. So now the next thing that is if you want to improve your trading, the only thing that you need, guys, is that allocate some time for yourself. Okay, allocate some time for yourself so that you can learn and grow. Now currently the trading is, if you look at, there was a time on trading was really hard. Trading is very simple. It's now easy to trade. The only difficulty here is the trading psychology, which is why this live session that every day we're discussing about trading psychology, so they can take you trading to the next level. Next level trading means that where you develop a strong trading psychology, which is very important. Now, what is the advantage of having a strong trading psychology is that you can consistently trade. Okay, consistency is very important. Indecision is, yeah, indecision is also a decision, because to remain in indecision also you need to make a decision, right? So here lower time frame price action along this area that showing up to be significant with this support with a long wick candle. They're looking forward to see the price action to break above, and that can create an upside momentum in this area here. Very simplest way. The next thing is just patient. Now along with gold, if we look at, also we can see what is happening with dollar index here. Price is consolidating now. Yeah, we can see that basically it's, if the market consolidate in London session, so it's session by session, you'll see that the market might be consolidating or breaking out in the next session. Okay, price, thank you very much. Please check the general chat and market discussion on the Discord at home point. There's a lot of spam. Okay, if it's consolidating, what is that been called in the market? If it's consolidating, what is that been called in the market? Okay, so an admin is always there. Definitely, if you guys find anything that you can just share in the chat group. The admin will be always there to look after. So if it's consolidating, what is that being called in the market? So if it's consolidating, what is then called in the market? Okay, consolidating is accumulation. Okay, consolidation is accumulation. So the market has some phase that the market moves. Okay, consolidation, that means that accumulation and then distribution. Accumulation, expansion, distribution. So okay, now there are some reason for the consolidation. The market usually consolidate majority of the time. Most of the time the market moves in a sideway, and the reason it consolidate is because to gather liquidity. You know, everything has a reason, right? Reason is a very, very important tool that you can use to reason. Okay, the reason for the reason is because, you know, many things that you cannot see, but if you have a high level of reasoning ability, you can understand via reason. Okay, so you can almost decode any secret of this universe through reason, because you can, let's say you can't go to the black hole, right? You can't go to the space, but by reason you can understand more than anything else, because there is no other way that you can do that. Even if you let's say you applied maths, okay, and then you find a solution through a maths, but still you don't see that, right? It's a maths, but the reason is what will give you a very clear understanding of many things. So for example, if you look at that, this universe, okay, this is a very the law of conservation of energy. If you look at the law of conservation of energy, what is the law of conservation of energy? That energy cannot be created or destroyed, only it can be converted from one form to the other. This is a very, very fundamental law of the law of conservation of energy, right? It's applied in every system. So you don't need maths to understand the law of conservation of energy, because if energy cannot be created or destroyed, then if you find a system that input energy, let's say, is 40 kilojoule, and the output energy that you found is 30 kilojoule, where the rest of the energy has gone? Because you know that it cannot be created or destroyed. There must be somewhere has been converted. Okay, so that is it. You don't need math, it's a reason. And in this similar way, that the whole universe is like that. You can reason many of the things that even, you know, in different dimension of life. So that's why reason is very important to look at. Okay, so now let's understand that how we can reason the accumulation phase in the market. So if you look at the accumulation in the market move in a sideway is because for the market to move from A to B, from price level A to price level B, it needs enough, it's a kind of energy, right? Like the momentum to jump from A to B. But how does this gain that momentum? Because when you see a trending market, everyone can understand that this is going up. I'm not gonna sell in this market, except, you know, some few beginner retail trader. So therefore, when the market is trending, everyone is in an uptrend buying. There is no seller. But when the market in a consolidation, here is liquidity up and down. So it gain liquidity from both direction. To gain enough, you can completely compare it with the water and ice, right? So if you look at the ice, that is in a solid state, right? The atoms have lower energetic frequency that creates a bond between those atoms, which is ice. But once you give it enough energy, heat, right? So what will happen, that atoms started to vibrate, and then the bond breaks, jump from one from the other, and then started to melt and become a liquid, different state. So that's gain momentum and then going from ice to the liquid. So in the same way, the market needs that kind of momentum from jumping from one state to the other. So that gains through gaining momentum through gathering liquidity. So then once you see that a market has gathered enough liquidity and breaking out from that consolidation, that's where you can look at an entry. That's a decision that we need to make when we are entering the trade. Okay, understand that what you trade that. Anything can happen to sellers and buyers when you see that, so you have to be anything can understanding what you trade in other. Okay, very good. You need to if you are trading, there is a very linguistic differentiation between betting, trading. So the betting is a kind of it's applicable in many areas, right? It's applicable in many areas. Let me tell you one interesting fact. So betting is synonymous to many aspects of the regular life. When there is an indecision, we wait patiently. Yes, absolutely. That's what need to look at. Patiently wait for the market to show its directional bias. That's what need to see that. Okay, until there is a decision. Yeah, so this is where the smart trading comes in play. That for the decision to come, okay, the market to show. That's where the trading is. That when you know that when the decision is coming, and the only thing that we know is from the price action, right? You see that the price action will tell you here. At the moment, if I look at this 5 minutes, just for this zone here, that I would say the decision here is bearish. Okay, here for the short term is bearish, unless the market is entirely showing its direction. So you see that you were looking for a buying opportunity here, but now slowly there is a red bearish engulfer. It may go for another liquidity sweep, or it can come back to this daily support at this level. There's a known knowns. There are things we know. We also know there are known unknowns. That is to say, we know. No, good point. But there are also unknowns, and the one that we don't know, we don't. Good point. So, okay, here we see some bearish price action. I'm looking to see potentially some. There might be here some downside movement. I would like to take this move here. Okay, I will be explaining, and this is the planned trade that I'm opening at this level. There is a high possibility for now the price action created here bearish. We'll be explaining later on this trade fully, but let's wait to see possible move here. And here this is the lower time frame bearish price action being formed. So I'm looking at here selling opportunity at this level. So I'm placing this to this trade stop loss here at 4065.57 and take profit target setting here at 4044.44. Come on. 1. So open sell, we can see some downside movement along this area. So you can see a bearish engulfer here at this level. The market is showing that there is a 5 minutes bearish engulfer has formed, which is showing that from here there is a stronger liquidity sweep rejection, and you can see another 5 minutes bearish engulfer, looking to see the market to trend back below to this support area here. We'll see where the market is heading, and based on that we can look at if we see it will be running or we will be moving with that one here. So with a bearish engulfer that you can see from here, which is a large bearish engulfer, there's also bearish engulfer showing up that the market is structured to this is the 5 minutes bearish engulfer, and looking to see it is breaking below, and that can create a potentially new lower low here. Okay, so you can see that here can show new lower low. We'll see that, and I'm looking forward to see if the market breaks this low here, which could go around 65 pip. If we see that successful drop, we can take partial profit on this trade here. So sell trade been triggered. Okay, sell trade running in, and we'll be looking to see possible downtrending move to come back below 4052 or even lower. Are you in the trade? Or I'm on trade. As soon as I have called for, I also opened and also shared in the group as well for those who want to follow along. Okay. Nice sell entry. Thank you very much, coach. In 30 minutes, the price is on 200 SMA. It may not break that level. Kindly check now, and bouncing up because of the 200 SMA. Okay, so that's why the entry that we have opened along this, if you look at the goal here is to take the trade at, like the first hour profit target along this area. I think there is still at this level is still downside price action. However, depending on the indicator is always lagging, we have very tight stop loss. We'll see if once the market breaks low, you see that this is 4048. Below this level, we can take our first profit target along this area. Okay. At the moment, in this area, that shows the lower time frame market trend. You'll see that where it is saying is it is reacting off the 200 SMA. There is some reaction, but at the moment you see there is a large head and shoulder. So usually in this situation, the market, if it is reverse, then should have been testing the support area. This is where we are at. Okay. And the market can go in any direction, but however, staying in the probability is what we are looking at. Because there is a liquidity gap here in this area, which is a sharp liquidity sweep that can create that downtrending move back here to the support area. Trend line break, thank you. It all depends on what time frame you are. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that. Time frame is very important, and the market movement is independent, right? If it is going up, it will go up in all time frame. It is going down, and it will go in down all time frame. But if you look at that, the entry is time dependent. Okay, time frame dependent. So very long week, and here it's got some volume here. Okay, back to back two. This is high liquidity sweep at this level. little sideways movement at this level, and we're getting down of this support. Okay, and if we see that enough liquidity grab below, looking forward to see that continuation with another. If you look at that 15 minutes candlestick pattern formation here, we are looking to see a continuation of this downtrend. Hi coach, good evening, welcome. Good evening where you are. My zone also is evening, so okay, and changing the time frame to see overall direction. Okay, now we can see that some I see is the price action is still showing that there is a possibility for bearish move back below here in this area. Okay, see a little bit of drop in volume, but might break the low here so far. Okay, the market is in a, again it's gone for a consolidation. With the intraday here, again we can see that there is a consolidation at this level. We are also seeing another 1 hour price action being closed here. And before this 1 hour close, looking to see a possible break of support, isn't it? Few lower time frame price action has formed along this area. Okay, we can see some downside move. getting below our entry, which is going into our profit area. Here you guys can see that. And below our entry, you're looking for that price action confirmation here along this area. 2 minutes, yeah, we are running in some profit here. So what you can expect here in this area for this price action to break below and then to trend. So if we see the market is breaking below this support area here, okay, if you look at that, this is the support where if the market breaks 4054 below this level, what we are looking at, the market structure to create a potentially new lower low. So you can see here market structure shows that new lower low with multiple rejection below. That creates the market structure to come down and then to create a possibly new lower low here in this area. Okay, we are looking at to show that price action. And once we see the market structure shows that bearish rejection creating a new candlestick pattern, we can look for taking our first profit and then to go for break even. Okay, this is what we are looking at, going for a break even. Alright, so few long wick candlestick pattern. There is a consolidation here, guys. The trade is running here along this area that I'm looking at for a possible rejection. And there is 30 minutes candle close and also the 1 hour close. There you guys can see with this 1 hour close looking to see a possible rejection of this price action. Though we see some at the end there is some sideways consolidation again. Okay, so you see that the market is a little in a sideways. Now this trade is running with a little bit of upside drawdown, but I think we eventually could see that rejection of this price action from the 1 hour. If you look at that here, the price action showing that it's still there is a long wick, still there is a possibility for a downside. I'm going to run this trade till the stop loss or my plan here, if I'm not on live or this trade, once the market breaks below around 4052, okay, around this level, if the most successfully break below 4052, will be taking the partial profit. Okay, so this is my TP1 level along in this area. Okay, breaking below, this is my TP1 level. And once the market reach that TP1 or below, you can see the market now currently exceeding our entry. So before I end this live, as there is another one coming, we will be trading during the NY session as well. So here I am looking at for the market to show its direction. So at the moment, you guys looked at here, the price action below our entry. That means running in some profit. So if you think that, you know, near the entry, it depends on when you have entered. If you think that you haven't managed the risk, you're welcome to close with the break even or with the running profit. But I'm running in as the market shows bearish price action that you can see currently coming to the profit area. And I'm holding on this trade. This is my TP1 level, which is at 4052, which is the take profit level 1. And I'm holding on to that. Let's wait to see the market to show some downside movement here at this level, which is very important to see that the market to show its direction. Just to give you guys a direction before I end. I'm still there, still on the trade, and would like to see the market to break below to that. Okay. So showing that downtrending market structure now. We are running in profit. Can you give me a feedback? What's the status of your trade? I'm running in. So looking forward to see the break below here. Okay, few more long wick candle here shows the market trend potentially to remain in this area to the bearish side. And if you look at the market, if you see the price action breaking below here, that can create that potentially to coming back to TP1 or lower to create a new lower low here in this market. So I'm running in for another potential break below. If you guys there, then make sure you like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. So we'll be running in for till the NY session. If you look at my TP1 at 4054, this is my TP1 level, and if the market breaks below, we'll be taking the half position and we'll move the stop loss at entry. We'll run the full profit target. However, if the market goes up, I'll keep holding it till the stop loss. That's the plan. And coming up another live session you guys looked at in few minutes, in just a matter of 3 hours. So don't miss out that live session. Also, I'm going to share a full breakdown of any trade that I'm opening in the channel. Also, don't miss out to join that. Make sure you like and also stay connected by joining for more updated education as well as analysis coming later today. That's it. This is the first session. We'll be coming on the next one. We are going up. Okay, every time frame is consolidation. Why are selling now? Okay, we see that there is some rejection here. You guys can see that SMA 200, it's used to measure the overreaching closing price act as dynamic support and resistance. Now that happening if the market closed below the overreaching. Okay, let's see that. Let's see the market. This is a very narrow and one candle consolidation. All right, so with that one candle consolidation, which is, if you look at that, a very sometime the market will not show the clear direction. In those situations, you need to wait for the breakout. But here we can see that whenever the market is coming below, getting the reaction back here above of that level. That's it. Thank you for joining. We'll see you again very soon trading live. Until that, stay well, stay happy.